Rugby League Football Club for this first division encounter between Wakefield Trinity and Featherstone Rovers. A Wakefield Trinity team, number 1 Kieran Allen, number 2 is John Ray, 3 is Wayne Flynn, 4 Jamie Cochran, 5 Andy Wilson. At our patch we've got 6 Brad Davis, 7 Carl Grigg. In the forwards, number 8 Nigel Bell, 9 Adam Nable, 10 Francis Stevenson, 11 Wayne MacDonald, 12 Mickey Clarkson and 13 Mike Coiti, captain. Substitutes 14 Jamie Kelso, 15 Mick Ramsden, 16 Mark Webster and 17 Ryan Morsley. The Featherstone Rovers team just come out on the field. Number 1 Carl Gibson, number 2 Eddie Rombo, 3 Warren Wilson, 4 Darren Hughes, 5 Owen Simpson. At our backs we've got number 6 Martin Pearson and 7 Derek Fox. And in the forwards, number 8 Steve Malloy, 9 Neil Roebuck, 10 Simon Tufts, 11 Roy Powell, 12 John Sharp and 13 Richard Slater. Rovers 4 substitutes, number 14 Steve Lay, 15 Tony Miller, 16 Chris Bibb and 17 Richard Gunn. Your referee for tonight is Mr Paul Tabernet. And there we go, the ultras just sounded for the first time this season or any other season. Featherstone Rovers and Wakefield Trinity fielding 4 substitutes. So that means that both sets of players, I think substitutes will be able to change be able to have 6 changes each on the field. I think that's how the rules state. So Featherstone Rovers coming here with a good win last week against Rochdale in the first match of this Super League season, this summer season. Whereas on the other hand, Wakefield had a bad defeat, being absolutely thrashed at the Boulevard by Hull last Sunday. So Mike Coiti there, the captain of Wakefield Trinity, and Roy Powell, the new captain of Featherstone Rovers, just looking at the coin. So I think Roy Powell's just telling his charges here they've got to change round. Well, Featherstone Rovers got the double over Wakefield Trinity in the Centurion season. So let's hope the Featherstone Rovers can keep that winning streak up, and let's hope they can go away tonight with 2 more valuable league points. I've just had a walk on the pitch before the match, and I must say that the ground is absolutely rock hard. Big favourite here, Eddie Rombo on this wing, getting a good cheer from the Featherstone Rovers contingent. What's travelled these few miles to Wakefield to cheer their team on. Eddie Rombo, of course, got Featherstone's man of the match on Sunday against Rochdale. Score of 2 tries, good in defence, so let's hope he keeps that up. So Derek Fox gets the game underway. That kick downfield there, number 1 there, Kieran Allen, straight underneath the ball, runs it in. Well, that's good defence by Rovers. The referee getting Rovers back 10 metres, rightly so. So it's Trinity just feeling themselves out. Number 11 there, Wayne MacDonald, big fella is Wayne MacDonald. Takes some pulling down when he gets into his stride. So no excuses for fast open rugby tonight. Like I've just said, the ground's like absolutely concrete out in the middle. So Nigel Bell there being recalled into this Wakefield Trinity line-up. That's the charge down, that's all on. And Neil Roebuck will be after that ball. That's well played, that by Neil Roebuck. Referee wiping that tackle off. Good play that by Neil Roebuck, chasing that ball down. So Trinity, and he's lost the ball in his own 20-metre line. Oh, that looks a bit high there on that tackle there on Darren Hughes. So Featherstone Rovers with the ball. Derek Fox with the ball now there. So Featherstone Rovers to Simon Tufts. Simon Tufts there. 10 metres from that Wakefield Trinity try line. Neil Roebuck from Martin Harpack to Derek Fox. Derek Fox now there to Steve Malloy. Steve Malloy there trying to barge his way towards them posts. Being held up in the tackle. Nigel Bell there being involved with the tackle that time. So Johnny Sharp it is. Mike Coiti getting across, half stopping him. Quick play the ball that by Johnny Sharp. So it's Derek Fox now there to Roy Powell. But got strong defence by Trinity. We're on the last tackle already, so it's Neil Roebuck to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there, and Derek Fox there. That little chip over didn't materialise. And we've got a sprint on here. Eddie Rombo after here. Number 7 there, that's beautiful tackle that by Eddie Rombo, but Cargrigg there showed a clean pair of heels. Derry Fox there trying to chip the ball over. That chip didn't come off. Cargrigg intercepting the kick that time, and that's beautiful defence that by Owen Simpson. On number 2 there, John Ray, the ex-Castleford player. But thrills and spills already here at Bellevue this evening. We've seen pressure from Featherstone Rovers. We've seen a fine interception there from Cargrigg through that Derry Fox kick through. We saw a good tackle by Eddie Rombo, motoring back after him. And then we've just seen a fine tackle there by Owen Simpson, putting John Ray into touch on the far side. Featherstone Rovers heading ball, so it's Carl Gibson. But that's good defence that by Kieran Allen, his opposite number. So it's Johnny Sharp and Wayne McDonald there, getting to grips with him, making the tackle. So it's number 3, Warren Wilson, gets rid of that ball. It's a Neil Roebuck, oh, nearly through the gap. Mike Coeity, brilliant defence that by Mike Coeity, spotted the danger. So it's Steve Malloy, you look for the halfway line. Big driving, but Nigel Bell there. Evergreen as ever, Nigel Bell. He seems to be playing for Wakefield Trinity even when I was a young one, and that's saying something. On it, that's a good break this. Right, Richard Slater's all the way, he's got men outside him. Oh, and he got men inside him there. All he had to do was pass the ball inside. But there again, the players on the field can't see what I can see up here in the gantry, but surely the pass was on inside. Took the wrong option, tried to throw the ball out there to Owen Simpson, and the pass went straight into touch. That's a let off for Trinity. I must say though, it's a commentator's nightmare, is these Featherstone Rovers shirts, because I must say the numbers don't illuminate as well. It's hard telling the numbers on the backs, and the personnel at Featherstone Rovers over the last few seasons have changed that much. So it's Andy Wilson there passing that ball on the line. So number 9 there, Adam Nable, getting the game underway. Number 4 there, Jamie Cochran. So it's Trinity's turn to put pressure on this Rovers defence. Number 10, Francis Stevenson, son of the great Nigel Stevenson, ex-Dewsbury player, of course, Nigel. Great player Nigel Stevenson is in his heyday, and that's his son Francis there, playing number 10 shirt for Trinity. So it's Cargrigg trying to get that ball along the line. Number 6 there, Brad Davis, ex-Huddersfield player, of course. Oh. And referee there penalising Neil Roebuck, I think it was, saying head-high tackle. A bit harsh for me is that on Brad Davis. So here's a chance here for number 4, Jamie Cochran, to open the scoring accounts in tonight's match. Still Wakefield Trinity 0, Featherstone Rovers 0. And just while we're waiting for Jamie Cochran there to place the ball, just getting back to that break what Darren Hughes made just about a couple of minutes ago. It was an absolutely brilliant break. Kept his feet well, but like I said, if he could have seen what I saw up here on the gantry, he got 2 options, but he took the wrong one. And Jamie Cochran there puts Wakefield Trinity 2-0 up. Wakefield Trinity 2, Featherstone Rovers 0. So here we go, Trinity kicking off. It's a new rule this season. And who scores the points has to kick off to the opposition. In my own opinion, I don't think it is a good rule, because you might get some games that the opposition never get out to the own half of the field. Still, the powers at Rugby League know best, so it's Simon Tufts with the ball. Simon Tufts gets the ball away to Neil Roebuck. That's good play that by Simon Tuffson. Neil Robert getting the ball along the line. Richard Slater there being buried under Nigel Bell's tackle. So it's Derek Fox with the ball. Missing one man out there. Gives the ball there to Martin Pearson. But Martin Pearson, good defence that's number 3, Wayne Flynn making the tackle. So it's Roy Powell to Carl Gibson. Carl Gibson tackle about 12 metres short from the halfway line. We're on the last tackle already. Good defence by Trinity, so Derek Fox, he'll put as much air between the ball. That's a good kick that by Derek Fox. Andy Wilson, absolutely no chance at all of getting that ball. Just one bounce there and it just spun right over his head. One bounce into touch on this near side. So it'll be a 10 metre scrum. It'll be Trinity to feed the scrum. Carl Grigg. Carl Grigg, ex-Sheffield player. The ball's in the scrum. It's out to Trinity. Number 6 it is there, Brad Davis. Just been tackled there just inside his own 20 metre area. So Trinity now fighting to get out of that own danger, that danger's area as they call it. They're on the second tackle. Good defence by Johnny Sharp at that time, stopping man and ball. So it's Mike Coiti, but that's a good smother tackle that by Steve Malloy. I'm pleased that Steve Malloy won't tackling me in that situation. So it's Wayne McDonald. Wayne McDonald out of one tackle, out of 2 tackles, still going the big fella. Big strong lad this Wayne McDonald, big number 11. So it's Trinity there, turning over inside out, but Simon Tuss finally gets to grips with him. So it's Mike Coiti. Mike Coiti there gets the ball there to Andy Wilson. Andy Wilson back inside, look like a forward pass. Referee didn't want to know, that looked like a forward pass with Harwood, but referee says play on, so it's Brad Davis, that big up and under. Carl Gibson underneath the ball, and that's brilliantly took by the Rovers fullback Carl Gibson. Fantastic play that by Carl Gibson, showing all his experience in that situation. So it's Derek Fox to Martin Pearson. Martin Pearson to Darren Jones, back there to Martin Pearson. Martin Pearson is absolutely flying down that left-hand touchline side. He's still going, and he's still going, Martin Pearson. Brilliant play by Martin Pearson. A last-ditch tackle there by Kieran Allen. Rugby league at its best. That's got to be a 10-minute sin-bin. Professional foul. But absolutely scintillating play by the Rovers. Martin Pearson there absolutely flying down that wing like Superman. So Rovers just pushing that ball into touch. Rovers six plays here to see what they can get out of this situation. The situation made there by that brilliant run there by Martin Pearson. So it's Simon Tuffs. He'll take the first drive in. 3 metres short of that Trinity try line. So it's Neil Roebuck. Neil Roebuck now. Short switch of play. Derek Fox to Martin Pearson. Martin Pearson now to Darren Hughes. But that's good defence that by Trinity. So Martin Pearson from acting half-back to Warren Wilson. Warren Wilson! Warren Wilson said, give me that ball. Oh, and that was a late tackle after the ball had put down. That was back play, that. Oh, Warren Wilson had already scored the try and the Trinity player come flying across there. No need for that. Just hope the referees defuse the situation. The referee's calling time out. Time, stop the clocks. But... getting back to the try, a set move that Martin Pearson there from acting half-back. He looked as amazed as anybody for him to go to acting half-back, but the move was that quick. Somebody had to pick the ball up from acting half-back, and he got the ball there to Warren Wilson, and Warren Wilson said, give me that ball, and he just brushed a would-be tackler out of the way as if he didn't exist, and planted the ball at the side of the post to open Featherstone Rovers scoring tonight. It's Featherstone Rovers in the lead, Wakefield Trinity 2, Featherstone Rovers 4. And it'll be Martin Pearson hoping to convert that Warren Wilson try. And Warren Wilson getting a right evasion coming back. So Martin Pearson, no mistakes, puts the extras on. Wakefield Trinity 2, Featherstone Rovers 6. So Rovers, they get the game started. Restarted, I should say. And it's this big fella here, Wayne McDonald. I'm going to take some getting down, is this big fella. Well, it's unbelievable. He's like the ambling Alp is Wayne McDonald. And the referee said that the Rovers play a head-eye tackle. Well, I'm afraid you want to pair the step ladders to head-eye tackle Wayne McDonald, but the referee says he must have had a pair of step ladders. Anyway, penalty kick to Wakefield Trinity. Number 9 there, Adam Nabel there gets the game underway. So it's Trinity just about on the halfway line. 2 good drives in by Trinity. So it's Cargrigg to Brad Davis. This interpassing this by Wakefield, they made the extra man, but that's a brilliant tackle by Richard Slater there on Jamie Cochran. So it's Andy Wilson to Brad Davis, trying to get that ball on the wire. Cargrigg there to Mike Coiti there, keeping the ball alive. Big number 12 there, Mickey Clarkson coming inside. Lot of interesting big clubs interested in this Mickey Clarkson, this number 12 for Wakefield Trinity. So it's Brad Davis. This has got play, but that's good defence that by Derek Fox. So Cargrigg now from acting half-back. Cargrigg now there to Brad Davis. Change of play. Brad Davis there. Like I've just said, ex-Huddersfield player. Australian he is, all the way from Australia, Brad Davis. But that's a gut smother tackle that by Warren Wilson. Featherstone Rovers try scorer, so it's Andy Wilson to Cargrigg. To Brad Davis. Brad Davis there pushing the ball over. But that's gut play that by Rovers. Oh, and that was a late-in tackle. Good play that by Richard Slater. So it's Eddie Rombo off his wing, coming to help his forwards out. Well, Richard Slater taking that little kick through there off of Brad Davis. So it's Carl Gibson being tackled just on his own 20-metre line. So it's Steve Malloy, ball back inside there to Johnny Sharp. Johnny Sharp there to Neil Roebuck. But Cargrigg there watching that move all the way. Neil Roebuck rightly so, sticking to the ball. Gets up and plays the ball. So it's Warren Wilson to Derek Fox. Derek Fox now there to Roy Powell. Pushes one man off. Still going Roy Powell. Gets rid of the ball. The tackle there to Martin Pearson. And he's on a flyer again to Owen Simpson. Owen Simpson down that wing side. Superb play that by Martin Pearson yet again. So it's Rovers. Martin Pearson. Oh, and that's... is that top? No, it isn't obstruction, but... did Martin Pearson take the right option in that situation? But that's good running that, and a marvellous tackle that by Simon Tufts. I think he's twisted his knee in that tackle. But it was a superb tackle that by Simon Tufts. He's back on his feet again. Ooh, that looked like a borderline pass. Good defence that by Steve Malloy. Richard Slater also helping out, making the tackle. So it's Mike Coiti for Trinity. Trying to push Derek Fox out of the way, but too many blue shirts in the way that Mike Coiti gets rid of the ball in the tackle. The game's really hotting up now here at Bellevue. Brilliant play by Trinity. Into passing for Eddie Rombo. What a tackle by Eddie Rombo. Well, he just threw to the ground as it were a grass sod. So it's Trinity now on the attack. Rovers on the defence. Trinity really throwing this ball across the line. Trying to open this Rovers defence up, but a beautiful tackle yet again. Trinity have got Rovers stretched. Rovers still clinging on to a 6-2 lead at this moment in time. Carl gets under this ball and he's dropped the ball. It's a knock on. Pressure really on the Featherstone Rovers defence now. Trinity to feed the scrum. And referee just stopping play, he's just stopping the clock. Both sides just one or two little minor injuries. I think we'll find this regular in this summer season. These grounds will just get harder and harder. So referee wiping the clocks clean. So it'll be number 7, Carl Grigg, to feed the scrum. Carl Grigg did. Ran Derek Fox, but number 12 there, Johnny Sharp, breaking out of the pack quickly, making the tackle. Now it's Andy Wilson to Mike Coeity, to Brad Davis, ball back inside there, but that's a gut tackle there on number 10, Francis Stevenson. Rovers watching that moment all the way, so it's Mike Coeity. Oh, and that's a back pass, but it's well picked up there by Carl Grigg. And once again, Derek Fox there, scuttling back in defence. And Johnny Sharp also making the tackles. So that's a good, strong defence, that by Rovers. Trinity throwing all they can here at Featherstone Rovers. Mike Coeity, a little run around. No, it isn't. It's a little dummy. Oh, and Simon Tuff saved a try-saving tackle there for Rovers. Smothered man and ball. Trinity have got 6-man overlap on that far side. So it's Mike Coeity. It's looking dangerous here. But once again, Rovers scrambling defence, getting across. Superb defence by Rovers. And the crowd really appreciating that. So it's Owen Simpson. Owen Simpson out of one tackle. Good play that by Owen Simpson. Carl Gibson it was, I should say. So this is Owen Simpson. And Trinity caught offside. Referee says swinging arm, not offside. Carl Gibson it was who made that strong run, and then Owen followed up by Owen Simpson, and that tackle by the Trinity players, and Owen Simpson, one of the Trinity players, penalised for a swinging arm. So it's Rovers. Well, Featherstone Rovers had to withstand 12 tackles on their own, inside their own 20-metre line that time. Good defence by Rovers. So it's number 10, Simon Tufts, just over the halfway line. Quick play back, so it's Roebuck. To Derek Fox, back inside there. To Johnny Sharp. Johnny Sharp, this is good play by Rovers. Richard Slater is going towards that try line. But number 1 there, Kieran Allen, makes the tackle. A quick play of the ball. Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox now there to Martin Pearson. Martin Pearson, that little dummy. Tries to straighten up. Martin Pearson! Martin Pearson goes over for a try. Scintillating stuff by Rovers. Didn't Martin Pearson look strong there? His upper body strength took him over the try line for Featherstone Rovers' second try of the afternoon. Of the evening, I should say. Warren Wilson got the first one, and Martin Pearson there powered his way over that try line. Wakefield Trinity 2, Featherstone Rovers 10. And what can I say? The Rovers are on a roll. So Martin Pearson it is, hoping to convert his own try, which he normally does, and he couldn't get it more in the middle of the post, straight between the middle. Wakefield Trinity 2, Featherstone Rovers 12. Well, I must say, for me, the main topic of that try was Featherstone Rovers' defence inside their own 20-metre line, what allowed Trinity 12 tackles at him, 11 to 12 tackles on him, and Featherstone Rovers' defence was absolutely superb. And they've just come back upfield, and Richard Slater, good break down the middle. Richard Slater, good break down the middle, and followed on there by Martin Pearson's superb strength. And Featherstone Rovers tackling that time made the Trinity player lose the ball. The referee gives the scrum. Derek Fox fed the scrum. Rovers win one possession, so it's Martin Pearson to Carl Gibson. Well, good defence there by Jamie Cochran, stopping Carl Gibson. So it's Eddie Rombo looking for the blind side. Eddie Rombo is after one tackle, he's looking for the gaps in the defence. But Trinity there, quick to cover up Mickey Clarkson there, making the tackle for Trinity. Trinity 2, Rovers 12. So it's Steve Malloy. Nearly through the first line of defence. Mike Coeta making the tackle. Now it's Derek Fox. Bit of room to work here. Martin Pearson to Darren Hughes. Darren Hughes looking so strong in that number 4 shirt. But being tackled there by his opposite number there, Wayne Flynn. So Derek Fox, that long ball over there to Johnny Sharp. Johnny Sharp did well to take that ball in that circumstance, but he got rid of the ball. But referees are having none of that. Penalty kick. Referee said he shouted L. So penalty kick to Trinity. Referee saying that Johnny Sharp should have kept hold of the ball. He'd already shouted L, so who are we to dispute that? I must say that there were no dispute in the decision by the Featherstone Rovers players. So that's a back kick, that. And Warren Wilson, rightly so, not only did he take the ball, he also got his knee behind the ball to make sure that if he did fumble it, he had a take and go at it. And that's good play, that by Warren Wilson, making doubly sure in that situation. Took it well. So Steve Malloy, the second tackle, runs it in, so it's Neil Roebuck to Derek Fox to Richard Slater there, being tackled there by number 12, Mickey Clarkson. So it's Rovers, Johnny Sharp changing direction of play to Carl Gibson. Oh, and once again, Warren Wilson, that's good play by Warren Wilson to Eddie Rombo. Eddie Rombo, this plays the same, run it in, Eddie, and Eddie does that. And Trinity there, Nigel Bell spotted the danger, makes the tackle. So it's Simon Tufts trying to straighten up to that Trinity 20-metre line. There's a drop goal on the cards here. Derek Fox there. Derek Fox, it's into drop goal. It's a big up and under. We've lost it in the lights. It's all on. But that's it. No, it's a penalty. The referee's blowing his whistle, saying that Rovers were offside in that situation. Referee just saying there to Carl Gibson and Warren Wilson, give him 10. So penalty kick to Trinity. Trinity 2, Rovers 12 at this moment in time. So much to the amusement of the Wakefield Trinity crowd, Wakefield Trinity fine touch. So Nigel Bell takes the first drive in, but Simon Tufts there and Neil Roebuck making the tackles. And also Richard Slater, who else also involved with the tackle. And this is a good strong run, this. But once again, good defence by Richard Slater. And once again, Richard Slater getting his body behind the man and Roy Powell being involved in the tackle. So it's Cargrick to Brad Davis to Mike Coeta. Mike Coeta there to Wayne McDonald, and that's a superb tackle by Warren Wilson. Man on man that time, rolling him over, and Mike Coeta running it in. Mike Coeta just running across the field that time, going nowhere. So it's Cargrick trying to set the situation up. Loses the ball in the process, and Featherstone Rovers get possession. So it's Owen Simpson trying to fly his way down that wing. So Derek Fox just had to check his stride that time. He'll run it in, will Derek? Tackle on the halfway line. No panic. Rovers are in the driving seat now. So it's Johnny Sharp to Simon Tufts. That's good into passing that by Johnny Sharp, and good backing up by Simon Tufts. Two Featherstone lads there, two local lads. So it's Steve Malloy there. Good driving that by Steve Malloy. We're halfway between the halfway line and the Wakefield Trinity 20-metre line. So it's Derek Fox to Roy Powell. But Roy Powell there smothered man and ball. We're on the last tackle. So it's Neil Roebuck to Johnny Sharp. Johnny Sharp there just chips that ball through. It's all on. But Andy Wilson there picks that ball up. Andy Wilson there being chased by Eddie Rombo, and Eddie Rombo collars his man. Good play that by Johnny Sharp. He kicked the ball through, and he followed his own kick up that put all his own men on side, so everybody could chase the ball. So Rovers playing out these 6 tackles. They're playing the percentages right. David Ward will be pleased with his performance in the first half here at Bellevue. So it's Trinity trying to bring the way out of their own 20-metre area. So ball back there, that big kick downfield. Eddie Rombo there, he'd no chance of getting that ball, even if he wanted to, and I don't imagine that Eddie Rombo would have wanted to get to that ball. One bounce, straight into touch, scrum down, just about 5 metres inside Rovers half of the field. Derek Fox to feed the scrum. Derek Fox there, just having a little word there with Warren Wilson. So Derek Fox feeds the scrum, Rovers possession. Martin Pearson, plenty of room to work it here. Martin Pearson gives the ball there to Darren Hughes. But Darren Hughes being tackled there by Brad Davis and Wayne Flynn. And just on the halfway line. So it's Johnny Sharp, runs the ball in. Mark Coiti there and Mike Clarkson there making the tackle on the Rovers second row forward. So it's Neil Roebuck. Got strong run. Darren Hughes and the referee blowing his whistle. It's the tackle got a bit heated that time, but the referee must have seen an infringement there on that side. Yeah. And the Trinity just having words with his touch jump, but I think the Wakefield Trinity number 3, is it Wayne Flynn? Will he be pulled out? Penalty kick to Rovers. And Martin Pearson. Ball in his hands. I'm sure that Roy Powell would have asked him if he could kick from goal from there, and I think Martin Pearson did the right thing in that situation. It is a bit far out, and Rovers are in a better position. Trinity 2, Rovers 12 at this moment in time. That big drive in. So Rovers there on the second tackle, 5 metres short of that Trinity try line. So it's Derek Fox now. And Rovers losing the ball in that situation. That's a knock-on. So Rovers just losing the initiative in that position. One of the very rare mistakes they've made in this first half. But like I've just said previously, I'm sure that David Waugh will be highly delighted with the Rovers' defence in this first half. So it's Mike Coiti for Trinity. But Carl Gibson getting across, and Richard Slater making the tackle. So Roy Powell there. Roy Powell below. Martin Pearson on top. Stopping man and ball. So it's Cargrigg trying to spin his way out of tackles. But Steve Malloy making the tackle that time. So number 9, Adam Nable there. 8 metres from the halfway line. And I must say it's coming rather cool. So it's Owen Simpson for Rovers. Owen Simpson cuts back in field. Once again, a bad mistake by Trinity. Can Rovers capitalise on this? And that's counted as a zero tackle for Rovers. So it's Roy Powell. We're on the first tackle. Rovers just want to get that little bit organised. So Steve Malloy will make sure they get organised. There'll be no thrills and spills from that experience of players there. Steve Malloy takes the tackle, does right, runs it in. Now Rovers are organised, so it's Neil Roebuck. Neil Roebuck now there to Warren Wilson. Warren Wilson looking strong in that number 3 shirt tonight for Featherstone. Already tried to his name, so it's Derek Fox. Derek Fox, oh, they're all over on Derek Fox there. He couldn't get that ball out. Rovers not just deep enough in that movement. So Martin Pearson, that little dummy. And that's got to be a knock-on. The referee says ball went back. Well, the referee must have his eyes at the back of his head, because that looked to knock on to where I am here in the gantry, but Trinity's possession, let off for Trinity in that position. Rovers wasting a golden opportunity there to put some more points on the board. So Wakefield Trinity trying to make headway towards the halfway line. They've been pegged back in the own half for the last 10 minutes, so so it's Cargrigg trying to get that ball on the line. Oh, that was a dodgy pass. Ooh, and Andy Wilson there, it's a good job he took that. And Andy Wilson there, that kick over, it's all on. And Carl Gibson says thank you very much. And that's a good tackle, that, by John Ray there on that far side on Carl Gibson. Now it's Owen Simpson trying to bury his way through them white shirts of the Trinity defence, but not that time. So it's Neil Roebuck to Simon Tufts. Simon Tufts about 8 metres inside Trinity's half of the field. So Steve Malloy there, good defence that by Mike Clarkson. So it's Derek Fox to Warren Wilson, spinning out of tackles. Warren Wilson there trying to straighten up, gets rid of the ball. Rovers keeping the ball alive. Martin Pearson it is. Martin Pearson skipping round. This is good play by Rovers. Eddie Rombo. Superb play by Rovers. Neil Roebuck also involved with that moment. A quick play of the ball. Roy Powell to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there. Rovers get that ball back. It's all on. Ball's up in the air. It's all on, is that? But Rovers putting the Trinity player under no pressure at all. And John Ray catches the ball in full flight that time in front of the floodlit Python that time. So it's Wakefield Trinity. Just over their own 20-metre area. All the advantage Featherstone Rovers have had in this last 10 minutes, but they still can't put more points on the board. Let's hope they don't rule the chances missed later on in the game. So it's Mike Coetti. Ball back inside. This is Trinity keeping the ball alive, but that's a good tackle, that. Simon Tufts watching that moment, all on the line. So it's Allen now there. Trinity keeping the ball moving. So it's Trinity's turn to put pressure on this Rovers defence. This last 3 or 4 minutes of play. And that's the 6th and last tackle. Once again, good defence by Rovers, stopping that moment. So it's Warren Wilson, that big hand off there. Warren Wilson still going. And Trinity got number 14 on the field, Jamie Kelso, and number 15, Mick Ramsden. I just can't see who's gone off. So Derek Fox to Johnny Sharp. Johnny Sharp, he's looking for the halfway line, but good Trinity defence that time. Mike Coetti there. So Derek Fox spinning that ball out wide there to Martin Pearson. Martin Pearson is out of 2 tackles. He's flying down that left-hand touchline again. Has to backtrack, still going. Once again, a good strong run that by Martin Pearson. Finally tackled just about on the halfway line. So Derek Fox with the ball. Derek Fox now to Steve Malloy. To Owen Simpson. That's a good tackle, that. Jamie Cochran there making the tackle. So it's Johnny Sharp there to Warren Wilson. And Warren Wilson there. Ball straight into touch. That's the last tackle, so that'll be the changeover. So Trinity's turn. So number 14 there, Jamie Kelson. So it's Mike Coetti. Mike Coetti there being tackled there by Roy Powell. Once again, we're just about on the halfway line. So Mick Ramsden, ex-York player. So it's Trinity trying to throw the ball from right to left, trying to prize the gaps in this Rovers defence. But Rovers, so it's Wayne McDonnell in the centres. Beautiful pass there to Cochran. Cochran there, ball back inside, and it's a bad mistake. That's a knock-on. That's a knock-on. Let off for Rovers, but I must say that Number 4 there, Jamie Cochran, showed a clean pair of heels down this left touchline side. And Carl Gibson coming across to make the tackle, but Jamie Cochran's inside pass there being knocked on by his fellow Capri at that time, and Rovers have a let-off. First let-off for Featherstone Rovers in this match. They just deserve that little bit of luck, the way they played in this first half. So Warren Wilson gets rid of the ball in the tackle there to Neil Roebuck. So it's Eddie Rombo from acting half-back. And good defence by Trinity. So it's Derek Fox. Good passing this by Rovers. Trying to keeping that ball alive, and Martin Pearson once again. Martin Pearson to Owen Simpson. Owen Simpson, ball back inside. Still going on. Rovers this time losing the ball. Martin Pearson and Owen Simpson there interpassing, and that final pass just going astray. I think it was it Richard Slater, Eric? No, Eric's like me. It's I must say, these floodlights. The referee just stopping the clock. With a couple more players injured there on the far side. Trinity players this time. And we're just feeling the hard grounds. So Trinity's possession. And that's a good tackle, that's Martin Pearson getting to grips with his opposite number. So it's Mike Coiti. Oh, and that's good play by Simon Tufts. He got his big hand in the way that time. That's good play by the Rovers prop forward. He stopped a movement there. He stopped Trinity from making progress. The ball has to come back. It's a scrum down. But seconds ticking away now to half-time. It'll be Cargrick to feed the scrum for Trinity. So Cargrick there. Cargrick there gets the ball. Still going. And Roy Powell this time saves the day for Rovers. So it's Trinity putting pressure on this Rovers defence. And Abel there on that far side, trying to get that ball inside. Rovers still leading by 12 points to 2. So it's Cargrick to Mike Coiti. He's been involved with a lot of play in this half, as Mike Coiti. He's led by example, but that's a good tackle that by Neil Roebuck, and Derek Fox just making sure. So Rovers will not want to concede a try at this part of the game just before half-time. Big strong run by Wayne MacDonald. Unbelievable defence by Rovers, a scrambling defence paying off once again that time, and Coiti on that far side. Oh, and that's crossing. That's crossing, is that? That's a penalty. Referee spotting that, and once again, shall I say, Rovers defence absolutely being stretched at times, but they keep bringing these superb tackles off. Right. Aye. So it's Featherstone Rovers. They've just diffused the situation now. It's Simon Tufts. Simon Tufts there. He's looking for the halfway line. He's tackled about 12 metres short. Seconds ticking away to the half-time whistle. The half-time ultra, I should say. So it's Rovers, dare I say, in a commanding position, leading by 12 points to 2. Johnny Sharp there, but that's good defence. That's by Trinity. Stopping man and ball. Now it's Neil Roebuck to Derek Fox. Change of direction. Good play by Derek Fox. Try to get Daryl Hughes on a run. So it's Rovers. Steve Malloy turning inside. And number 14 there, Jamie Kelson there, making the tackle for Trinity. So working the short side, Derek Fox there pumping that ball through, but the ball will beat everybody. Rolls into dead, so it'll be a tap for Trinity on their own 20-metre line. And there we go, and there's the half-time ultra, just in the right place for the players just to walk off down the tunnel. And a fine first half. I'm sure that David Ward will be pleased with that performance, although with the ball that Rovers had in the side, the Trinity half, late on in that second half, Rovers could have easily so had a few more points on the board. Even so, Trinity opened the scoring there. Jamie Cochran in a penalty goal, 2-0 to Trinity, and from then on it was all Rovers. A fine try by Warren Wilson, converted by Martin Pearson. Then Martin Pearson himself got on the try scorers list with a try converted by himself. The half-time score. Welcome back to Bellevue, the home of Wakefield Trinity Rugby League Football Club. This first division match between Wakefield Trinity and Featherstone Rovers. The half-time score being Wakefield Trinity 2, Featherstone Rovers 12. So Trinity to get the game underway. Brad Davis there, Wakefield Trinity number 6, gets that ball, and Derek Fox gives the ball there to Alan Wilson it was. Now it's Steve Malloy to Derek Fox. As Featherstone Rovers got two subs on. I think I can see Tony Miller on the field. And I think I can see Chris Bibb. So we're always making 2 substitutions at half-time. Tony Miller on the field and Chris Bibb. Yes, Tony Miller there, good little break. Chris Bibb on for Carl Gibson. And I just can't see who's missing for Tony Miller to come out. Is it Johnny Sharp who's gone off anyway? Back to the game, Dirty Fox, that big kick downfield. Number 1 there, Kieran Allen. And good following up that by Simon Tufts there and Roy Powell. Yes, Tony Miller on for John Sharp and Chris Bibb on for Carl Gibson. Two straight substitutes, that's fullback for a fullback and a back row forward for a back row forward. So it's Trinity 10 metres inside their own half of the field, trying to get that ball across the field, but that's superb defence by Rovers. Rovers in the driving seat, leading by 12 points to 2, and that big up and under. Well, it's gone nowhere, that. The ball's coming down, being punched back, it's all on. Carl Grigg there, that little kick through, it's all on. And Chris Bibb after that ball, but that's good play by Chris Bibb. Also good play that by Carl Grigg. Quick play of the ball. So Eddie Rumbo for Rovers, just trying to defuse the situation. Rovers have got some hard work to get the ball out of the danger area. That's the 3rd tackle gone. And referee stopping the clock. Trinity playing having been injured there, just about on the halfway line. Referee concerned about him.
Sam, we did that.
Drink a coffee pot, lads. Getting cold already. Isn't it? So I'm pleased to say the Trinity player back on his feet. Is it Mike Clarkson? So Featherstone Rovers will continue this sequence of 6 tackles. I think they're at 3 already. So Eddie Rombo. I think that's 4 tackles gone. So Steve Malloy. And I think referees lost count of these tackles here, and I know I have anyway, but so it's Martin Pearson. Martin Pearson there to Darren Hughes. And we're on the last tackle now. So Chris Bibb being bulldozed into touch. That's the changeover. I think Featherstone Rovers had lost the number of tackles. I'm sure that Featherstone Rovers could have had an extra 1 or 2 tackles in that situation, but I think everybody lost count. I know the referee did, I know I did, so it's Wayne McDonald there. Trying to make progress on the first tackle. So it's Mike Coetti taking this Rovers defence on. Led by example in the first half, Mike Coetti. Tried to prise that Rovers defence open time and time again, but the Rovers scrambling defence stood up. And this time Roy Powell penalised for holding on in the tackle. And the Trinity players just asking themselves, shall we go for goal or shall we take a tap? And Mike Coetti says we're going for goal. Always 12 points to 2 to the good. This should narrow the lead, should he succeed. The Trinity kicker, Jamie Cochran, already kicked 1 goal this evening I should say. So here we are, Jamie Cochran setting his sights on his second penalty attempt of the evening, and he misses. Darren Hughes takes the ball, runs it out. Quick play the ball that by Darren Hughes. So it's Rovers on the third tackle. Owen Simpson there trying to bury himself under 2 or 3 Wakefield Trinity players. So Neil Roebuck to Simon Tufts. I must say the game started a little bit scrappy in this second half, but Rovers still leading by 12 points to 2. I'm sure they won't mind. So it's Tony Miller. Rovers yet to get in that Trinity half of the field in this second half. This time they will. Neil Roebuck, that big kick downfield, the ball rolling and rolling. That's a beautiful kick that by Neil Roebuck. 50 or 60 metres that ball's covered that time, and that puts Rovers into this Wakefield Trinity half. In fact, Trinity having to scrum down just outside of their own 20-metre line. Superb, excellent kick, call it what you like by Neil Roebuck, but that ball covered some distance. So Cargrick feeds the scrum. It's hard to Trinity. But Tony Miller there just waiting to make the tackle. So it's Trinity. We're on the second tackle already, and once again Trinity inside that Rovers half of the field. Poor defence by Rovers that time. So number 15 there, Mick Ramsden. And Featherstone Rovers being penalised there for dumping in the tackle. No, surely if that was a dump, it should be a sending off offence. So once again, Featherstone Rovers, their own culprits that time, giving penalties away. They just can't seem to get out of their own half of the field in this second half. So number 1, Kieran Allen, runs the ball in. Once again, Rovers being penalised, holding down in the tackle. Surely Rovers have got to start getting their act together. They can't keep giving these silly penalties away in these situations. So this time it's number 6, Brad Davis. Well, it looks as if Brad Davis wants a little bit of sand to kick the ball. It's a good job that the great Neil Fox has, or he could be watching the game. I'm sure he'll just be having a little giggle to himself. Neil Fox, of course, holds the point scoring record for Wakefield Trinity, but I'm sure he never used any sand in his great playing days. And that's when they used to kick with a leather ball. Still, that's the modern game of today. Here we go. Brad Davis. The video camera's right behind the ball. And we'll see where this ends up. And it's ended up straight between the middle. Another 2 points for Trinity. That's a warning for Rovers. Keep the penalties down. Wakefield Trinity 4, Featherstone Rovers 12. So it's Brad Davis there. Gets the game restarted on the halfway line. Tony Miller running the ball in. That's on the first tackle. So it's Steve Malloy using the short side, but that's good defence by Trinity. So it's Simon Tufts on the third tackle. So it's Roy Powell. Roy Powell through the gap. Roy Powell still going. That's a good strong run by the Rovers captain. Brilliant run that by Roy Powell. Now it's Derek Fox to Tony Miller. Ball back inside it for Warren Wilson. But once again a superb tackle that. Rovers on the last tackle, but at least they've worked their way up to the halfway line thanks to that little bit of running there by Roy Powell. And so Derek Fox there looking for position. And Kieran Allen, rightly so, took it on the first bounce, running across that Rovers defence. And once again, Featherstone Rovers in discipline, letting them down. And Rovers must keep these penalties down. I think Trinity must have had about 6 inside the space of 5 minutes in this second half. I'm sure David Ward won't like that. Rob Owens lost the ball in and that's another penalty. Well, Featherstone Rovers discipline in this second half. No, it's all on that, Eric. Yeah. So Wakefield Trinity, yet another penalty. And once again, we're inside this Rovers half of the field. Rovers leading by 12 points to 4. So it's Cargrig. But that's a good tackle that by Tony Miller. Featherstone Rovers desperately needing this ball in this situation, just about on the halfway line. All they seem to be doing in the second half is tackling and giving penalties away. So it's Mike Coeity. And Simon Tufts there brings the Wakefield Trinity loose forward down. So it's Brad David Cargrig. And that should be back to 1. Will it be back to 1? Or did the ball play the man? That little kick over, it's all on. And this time Featherstone Rovers do get possession. Now then, let's see what they can make of these 6. Will that be counted as a 0 tackle? So it's Eddie Rombo. So it's Chris Pitt for Rovers. Oh, and Trinity miles offside that play of the ball. I don't think the referee knows what offside is in this game. He's started refereeing all right in the first half, but one or two little niggling incidents in the second half. And Trinity offside of that position, but so it's Simon Tufts. Getting that ball there to Richard Slater over the halfway line. We're on the last tackle now. So it's Neil Roebuck. Neil Roebuck there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there just kicking that ball through. Looking for position, not looking. That's play on. The Trinity players touch the ball with his foot. And that's good play, that by Derek Fox for his own kick up. Now then, Rovers, can you make these tackles count? And once again, Rovers penalised, not being squared at the acting half-back position. Once again, penalty kick to Wakefield Trinity. So once again, Trinity get the game started. Well, the penalty count in Trinity's favour in this second half must be absolutely unbelievable. But most of it to bad discipline by the Rovers players. Now it's Mike Coeity for Trinity. Looking for the gaps. Had a fine game, Mike Coeity, for Wakefield Trinity tonight. So it's Rovers still leading by 12 points to 4. Still looking for the first try, Trinity. Good defence that by Neil Roebuck. And once again, Rovers defence, Tony Miller that time, making the tackles. So that little kick through, testing Chris Bibb out. Chris Bibb coming across. It's an awkward bouncing ball, picks it up just on his own try line, runs it out, Chris Bibb. But good play that by the Trinity following that kick up. So it's Owen Simpson. Oh, and that would have been high. That would have been high, that tackle. So it's Eddie Rumbo off his opposite wing there, runs it in. That's the third tackle. So Neil Roebuck gives the ball there now to Toys on a run here. It's Darren Hughes going all the way. Darren Hughes, catch me if you can. Inside there to Martin Pearson. And Martin Pearson says thank you very much. Darren Hughes there, a superb break, and Martin Pearson is first to come across and say thank you, Dazzy, for giving me that beautiful pass there. He absolutely bamboozled this Wakefield Trinity defence. Well, it was just as if this second half was going out like a damp squib. It isn't Guy Fawkes night, it is Good Friday. And Featherstone Rovers, especially Darren Hughes there, come to terms with that, made this break down this left touchline side, took the Trinity defence on, going for the try line. The Trinity player there just turned round, caught Darren Hughes just 2 metres before the try line, but Darren Hughes there saw Martin Pearson on his shoulder, throw an absolutely peach of a passing sight to him, and Martin Pearson says thank you very much and planted the ball at the side of the post. And so Martin Pearson, when he composes himself, he'll strike the ball straight between the middle of the post. It's a 6-point try, and just listen to the Rovers supporters for Darren Hughes and for Martin Pearson. Wakefield Trinity 4, Featherstone Rovers 18. So Rovers get the game underway yet again. Mike Coeity taking that kick-off. I think it's Adrian Flynn there with the ball. I must say that the numbers on the shirts are very hard to distinguish up here where we are on the gantry, and commentators' nightmares as I call them, but still I know that Wakefield Trinity's got the ball. They're in the white shirts. Wayne McDonald it is. Looking for that halfway line, but Rovers, that's just what they needed at this moment in time in this game. It will just die to death for this game in this second half. Few niggling penalties given away, and Darren Hughes has really set this game alight. So so it's Trinity. Just 15 minutes inside their own half of the field. That big kick downfield. Derek Fox putting the kicker off. Ball going straight there to Chris Bibb. Chris Bibb there taking this defence. Chris Bibb there trying to own this Trinity defence up. Good run that by the Rovers. Fullback there, Chris Bibb. 3 tries in the A-team last night. Chris Bibb is at some fine games lately. And that's a bad mistake by Eddie Rombo, losing that ball. Puts Trinity, Andy Wilson it is, on that far side, onto the attack. But Rovers there, Tony Miller, quick to recover, spotted the danger, made the tackle, so it's Mike Coeity for Trinity, Mike Coeity. But once again, Derek Fox, copybook tackling by the Rovers scrum half. Round the bootlaces, stopping man and ball. And that man and all, Richard Slater, stops man and ball also. How many times do we say that in a match? And once again, Rovers defence to the task, stopping everything what moves. So it's Wakefield Trinity. Mike Coeity puts the iron up and under up, and Eddie Rombo underneath the ball, took it on the full. Did well, Eddie Rombo there, not to get tackled in his own in-goal area. Took it well. A good little kick that by Mike Coeity. Test him Eddie Rombo out, but Eddie Rombo to the task. So it's Rovers. They've got all the hard work to do now, getting this ball out of their own danger area, their own 20-metre area as they call it. So it's Rovers just about on their own 20-metre area. I think that's Richard Slate, is it? I just can't see who that is. So this is Warren Wilson. Good strong run that by Warren Wilson. Along with Darren Hughes, they're forming a formidable partnership in the centres. Darren Hughes and Warren Wilson, both strong men. Take some pulling down. And we're on the last tackle already. Ball there back to Martin Pearson. I'm sure Martin Pearson will give the ball plenty of air, and he does. That's a good kick, but the ball stood up, or has it? 2 bounces. Number 7 there, Ryan Morsley with the ball. So Simon Tufts there, covering the middle up well. And also Steve Malloy. Featherstone was certainly in the driving seat. So it's Andy Wilson off his wing, but he's going nowhere. Only on the turf. Neil Roebuck says so. Makes the tackle. So it's Carl Grigg and Wakefield just short of ideas now. I don't think they scored a try at the Boulevard on Sunday, and they certainly don't look like scoring one tonight. Well, once again, Rovers giving a penalty away, but I must say in Steve Malloy's defence that time, the Trinity player didn't seem to allow him to get off him, so but the referee was hoodwinked, I think, on that occasion. So once again, another Trinity penalty, just about on the halfway line. So Andy Wilson, first to run the ball in. So like I've just set, Trinity at 6s and 7s at the moment. Rovers defence clearly on top, leading by 18 points to 4. And once again, good defence by Rovers. Covering the middle up. So it's Mike Coeity. So it's Carl Grigg to Brad Davis. Brad Davis just chipping that ball over. Eddie Rombo into backtrack. Eddie Rombo after the ball. Owen Simpson, I should say, after the ball. And Owen Simpson there just watching the ball, rolling to touch. So it'll be a 10-metre scrum. It'll be Derek Fox to feed the scrum. So Derek Fox feeds the scrum out to Rovers. Chris Bibb linking up from fullback. Good little run that by the Rovers fullback, Chris Bibb. So Warren Wilson paving his way down the middle of the field. 12 metres from the halfway line. Steve Malloy back inside for Simon Tufts, and that's a big hard tackle. Simon Tufts losing the ball. Good defence that by Trinity. Making Simon Tufts lose that ball in the tackle. So Simon Tufts having to leave the field, and Richard Gunn comes on, goes to blindside prop. So it's Kieran Allen to Brad Davis. Oh, and that's a bad mistake. That's the knock on. Bad mistake by Wakefield. Derek Fox feeds the scrum. Martin Pearson through the gap. He's after his hat-trick of tries here. He's flying down that right-hand side. Brilliant break. Kieran Allen there getting across, making the tackle on the Rovers standoff half. So Richard Gunn, first touch of the ball for him. We're inside that Trinity 20-metre area on the second tackle. Another try for Rovers now will just about kill this game. So it's Neil Roebuck to Roy Powell. Roy Powell there just driving it towards the post. We're on the third tackle. So what move has Rovers got up the sleeves in this set of six? Derek Fox changing direction there to Steve Malloy. We're on the fourth tackle. Once again, Rovers 5 metres from that Trinity try line. Derek Fox with the ball to Martin Pearson, that little dummy. Ball back inside there for Derek Fox. Derek Fox there spinning out of tackles. 5 tackles in this sequence of 6 gone already. So it's Neil Roebuck. Neil Roebuck there, that little kick through, it's all on. And that's good defence by Rovers. Oh. And Featherstone Rovers once again being penalised. The referee saying that the Wakefield player was tackled, and the Featherstone Rovers defence rolled him over the in-goal area. So from that, Wakefield Trinity take a quick tap, trying to catch Rovers unaware, but Rovers have more experience than that. Trinity already on the third tackle, still about 15 metres from the halfway line. So it's Trinity to Nigel Bell. That's the fourth Trinity tackle of this sequence of 6 gone already. Trinity still 10 metres inside their own half of the field. Cargrig with the ball. That little kick through, it's all on. Chris Pipp coming across. Oh, and that terrible bounce that. And Chris Pipp after the ball. He looks like, and Chris Pipp getting back. Oh, he's missed the ball. Chris Pipp absolutely tremendous recovery there by the Rovers fullback. What a crow bounce that was. Chris Pipp had that ball covered all the way. The ball seemed to bounce the opposite way. The Trinity player looked odds-on favourite to score Trinity's first try of the evening. But Chris Pipp there, a brilliant recovery, just managed to get his boot to the ball to kick it dead. So it'll be a drop out for Rovers underneath the own posts. Martin Pearson, here he goes. Put some air on the ball there. It's caught on the halfway line. Number 15, Mick Ramsden, runs it in. Richard Gunn, Neil Roebuck, Derek Fox all involved with the tackle, so it's Cargrig to Wayne MacDonald, but once again, Rovers defence to the task. Stopping everything that moves. But I would like to know what the penalty count is in this second half. Oh, and that would have been hard. Touch Judge John, referee on. Who was involved with that, Eric, could you see? Who was involved with that one? Neil Roebuck it was. Head-high tackle. And A few moans and groans and bulls round the field from the Wakefield supporters. So it's Nigel Bell. Runs the ball in. So it's Trinity pressing that Featherstone Rovers defence in this latter stage of this game. So it's Mike Coey to the men outside here. Brad Davis. That long ball out there, and it's a good try there. Beautiful ball there from Brad Davis there to Ryan Morsley on this wing, and Ryan Morsley goes in for Trinity's first try of the season, the first try of this evening, this Good Friday evening. Wakefield Trinity 8, Featherstone Rovers 18. And once again that try coming for Trinity by a bad indiscipline there by Featherstone Rovers, once again giving a penalty away. As well as Featherstone Rovers have played tonight, especially in defence. I'm sure that David Wardle will be a bit nattered about these niggling penalties, what this Featherstone Rovers team have given away tonight. I'm sure the penalty count in this second half must be about 12, 13, 14 to 0. So I'm sure that David Ward, the Featherstone Rovers coach, will get that ironed out at the next training session. But back to the game. Trinity there with Ryan Morsley scoring Trinity's first try of the evening. In fact, not the season. I don't think they scored a try at the Boulevard on Sunday, and it's the first try this evening. So here we go. Attempt at conversion, just going a bit wide. Wakefield Trinity 8, Featherstone Rovers 18. So 6 points to add both sides in this second half. But still, Featherstone Rovers, the difference was there was leading 12-2 at half time. So Rovers still 10 points to the good in this match. So Derek Fox to Richard Gunn. Richard Gunn there trying to spin out of tackles. But this time the Wakefield Trinity defence on top. Now it's Featherstone Rovers coming down the middle of the field, but that looked a bit high on Steve Malloy. So Richard Gunn looking for the halfway line, but good defence by Trinity. Mike Coetti making the tackle. So Derek Fox with the ball. Derek Fox now there to Darren Yos. Darren Yos so strong. Up to the halfway line, so it's Neil Roebuck to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there puts bulk to ball, keeps it in low flight. That's a good kick that by Derek Fox. Just gone a little bit long, but at least it'll give Featherstone time to get organised in defence. Rovers just keeping that 10-point cushion. So it's Nigel Bell on the second tackle. Good out tackle that by Steve Malloy. Opposite number there, Nigel Bell. So it's Trinity looking for that halfway line. Cochrane there being tackled just about on the halfway line. So it's Cargrick to Brad Davis to Mike Coetti. That long ball out there to Wayne MacDonald coming back inside. He's lost the ball in the tackle. It's all on. And Darren Yo says thank you very much. Stops on that loose ball. So it's Richard Gunn there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there trying to scramble through Mike Coetti's tackle. Inches from the halfway line. So it's Neil Roebuck. Neil Roebuck switch a play to Richard Gunn to Owen Simpson. Owen Simpson there cuts back inside. And number 12 there, Mickey Clarkson making the tackle. So it's Roy Powell. 10 metres inside Trinity's half of the field. Oh, Neil Roebuck it is to Tony Miller. Tony Miller there. Just couldn't get that pass there to Darren Hughes. So Richard Gunn from acting half back. Richard Gunn there. We're on the last tackle. Are we going to see a bomb up and under, or are we going to see a drop goal attempt from Derek Fox? No, the ball's up in the air, under the floodlights. Kieran Allen underneath it. And that's brilliantly took. I think it was Warren Wilson who took that ball. So that's the change over. Was it Warren Wilson, Tony Miller? I just couldn't see who took that ball for Featherstone Rovers in that situation, but Trinity tried to turn defence into attack, but Rovers are keeping them pinned down there. Good defence that on. Oh, that's a back play, the ball. Oh! Well, to me, that was an absolutely shocking play, the ball there by Wayne MacDonald, and the referee's penalised Featherstone Rovers for it. Well, that was unbelievable. That was just right beneath his ear on the gantry, and Wayne MacDonald there played the ball. It was a terrible play, the ball, and Rovers there, the players run round to pick the ball up on the floor, and the referee penalised them. Well, that was unbelievable. Still, the referee's in charge. He's got the whistle. Let's put Trinity onto the attack. Trinity now will throw everything they can now at Featherstone Rovers in these last few minutes. Cargrigg with the ball. Cargrigg there taking this defence on. Featherstone Rovers getting stretched, but beautiful tackle that by Owen Simpson. A superb try-saving tackle that by Owen Simpson there on Wayne MacDonald. And Mike Coeity throwing that ball from right to left, and once again another superb tackle, this time Eddie Rombo moving in. Ball Featherstone Rovers wingmen there, and once again Eddie Rombo there. Oh, he's tackling just short. We're on the last tackle. Desperate scrambling defence by Rovers. Oh, he's on! Cargrigg knocks on with the line at his mercy. But I've got to say, superb defence by Rovers. Owen Simpson, Eddie Rombo, all involved with that defence there. And Cargrigg there, the line seemed to be at his mercy, and that final pass there, perfect pass to him, straight in the bread basket as they say, and Cargrigg went and knocked the ball on. Let off for Rovers, but like I've just said, at least the defence were up to the task in that situation. So it's Darren Hughes once again down this side. Darren Hughes, what a match he's at for Rovers. So Neil Roebuck from Acton Harp back to Derek Fox to Martin Pearson. Somebody's got to run with the ball. So Martin Pearson throwing caution to the wing, getting that ball out there. Well, no need for that from Rovers. They are 10 points to the good. So Richard Slater trying to come down the middle. Neil Roebuck from Acton Harp back to Derek Fox. Derek Fox says, let's get out of this hole here. Let's get it down the field. And he finds touch there just about 10 metres inside Trinity's half of the field. So Cargrigg it will be to feed the scrum. And the support. So Steve Lay comes on for Featherstone Rovers for Richard Slater. Steve Lay going into the centres. Warren Wilson's backing down in the low forward position. So the spectators just starting to drift away. So Warren Wilson there making the tackles. So it's Mickey Clarkson there over the halfway line. Richard Gunn making the tackle. Rovers 18, Wakefield Trinity 8. So Mike Coeity, that was a borderline pass. Mike Coeity gets the return ball. And that's all on. Rovers get possession. Trinity losing the ball just over the halfway lane. So Tony Miller for Featherstone Rovers looking for that halfway line. So Darren Hughes moving in field, looking for work. He's had a fine match. He's looked dangerous every time he's touched the ball, as Darren Hughes in this match for Rovers. So it's Steve Malloy. Steve Malloy there. Mickey Ramsden there making the tackle. We're on the last tackle already. So Derek Fox, that big up and under. Getting back, and this Hawker bounced. Anything could happen here. Oh no, Simpson scores the try. Well, I said anything could happen, and the ball bounced there. The Trinity player running back just couldn't get the ball. And Owen Simpson said, thank you very much. And he opens his try-scoring account for this season, Owen Simpson. And that really puts Featherstone Rovers firmly in the driving seat. This will be another 2 points for David Ward's team. It's Wakefield Trinity 8. Owen Simpson's try makes Featherstone Rovers 22. Well, it was an absolutely terrible ball to take there for the Trinity defence. The ball bounced, and I said it was going to bounce, Hawken, and it did. And Owen Simpson there was first to be alert to that ball. He jumped up, gathered the ball, and just fell over the try line for Featherstone Rovers' fourth try of the evening. And Martin Pearson conversion attempt just going wide of the post. Wakefield Trinity 8, Featherstone Rovers 22. So Derek Fox gets the game started, and somebody in the crowd taking the mickey, singing "Always look on the bright side of life." The Trinity players, the players and the fans are not amused, but that's what this game of rugby league's all about. A bit of banter from the crowd. That's what you come to hear. And there goes the final alternate at Bellevue, and a fine win here for Featherstone Rovers. For Wakefield Trinity, Jamie Cochran a goal, Brad Davis a goal, and Ryan Morsley a try. In reply, Featherstone Rovers, Warren Wilson a try. Owen Simpson scored a try. Martin Pearson 2 tries, and Martin Pearson 3 goals. The final score here from Bellevue, the home of Wakefield Trinity. Wakefield Trinity 8, Featherstone Rovers 22.